Hi guys. Hi everyone. So guys, let's wait for another 1 minute and then we will start the session. Hi guys. Hi everyone. Hi Rana Vikram. Hi guys. Hi everyone. So guys, first of all, good evening everyone. Thank you so much for joining this live session. Hi Satish. Thanks for joining. So guys, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Dhaman. I'm in my second year of articleship right now, and I'm one of the founder of this page. So guys, you must be knowing we are doing live sessions every weekend with one of our seniors from the fraternity. And talking about today's session, we have another special guest, CA Ruchi Agrawal, who would be joining us in another few minutes. Talking about her, she has been academically very strong throughout the CA journey. She got a rank in CA IPCC AIR 11, and then she again secured a rank in finals AI 21. She even did her articleship from PwC, and post qualification she joined IOCL, and after spending like 1.5 years there, she is now working. She is now pursuing her MBA from XLI Jamshedpur. So without wasting any time, let's take Ruchi live now. Guys, just wait for another 1 minute here.
Hello, hi
Hello.
everyone. Hi Dhaman,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Ruchi?
I'm good. It is so
Okay.
good to see all of you here. So many
Uh,
people.
okay. Thank you so much, Ruchi, for taking our time for this session. So, first of all, let me tell you how we are planning for this session. So, in the first half of our session, I have prepared some questions. I'll be asking you those questions, and in the second half, we would be taking up some of the questions live from the audience. So, guys, I request each and everybody of you, whosoever has any question, can put up their questions in the second half of our session. So, without wasting any time, let me start now. So, Ruchi, first question I would like to ask you, how this all journey started, how the CA started, whether it was something which was a conscious decision or something which came up gradually.
So, like many of the people who joined CA, it was the same story for me. Initially, I was not very much aware about what options we have in the commerce, and CA looked
Yeah.
something which people who with good acads do, and which gives you good results in the long run. And it's a prestigious degree. That's why I joined it. But thankfully, it turned out very well for me, and I also liked the course. I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed my articleship period, and I was actually very thankful that I took the decision to do this degree because I really got a lot from it.
Okay. So, like, how was the initial CPT journey? Like, CPT के बारे में कुछ
So
yeah.
I was always very much proactive in getting into coachings and starting my studies. I got registered myself for CPT as well as the CPT coaching even before my board exams. And I still remember that me and my best friend, we had our first coaching class of CPT that right next day when we had our last board exam. So my board ended on 31st of the March, and we had our first coaching on the 1st of April. CPT was very smooth for me because I had a very strong academic background in 11th and 12th as well, and my conceptual clarity was very good. So it didn't take me much efforts to score. and I scored around 187 marks out of 200. I missed an All India rank by 1 mark. So that's it.
Okay. Okay. So, Ruchi, talking about your IPCC and final journey, it was something like which is a true mark for dedication and consistency. Consistency. You secured a rank in both the levels. So, what was that secret sauce behind that? What was the strategy and what was the secret thing
So
which maybe?
I still, after even after CPT, I was very new to this whole CA world, and I still was not very aware that why do I join it or where do I want to go and everything. And I was just casually sitting with my friends when the first time ever in my life I heard the name of Big Four. That Big Four is a
Okay.
thing that every CA has ever heard of, and it's very hard getting there. I had this thing in mind because people said it a lot that either you can get it even if you have a rank or you have any kind of references. I didn't had any references or whatsoever because I was the first one in my family to do CA. So I decided no, I want to get there, and I'll do that by getting a rank and having an excellent CV. So that's what motivated me to work hard for IPCC and get a rank. And the second reason was I had a very good percentage in 12th, but at that time I didn't apply for DU colleges because my family was not allowing me to. But after being in Jaipur I am basically from Jaipur, if I want to tell you. So being in Jaipur for another year, many of my friends were out, and I realized this thing that if you want to really grow and if you want to really um, uh, evolve as a person, then you really need to move out of your home because you cannot just grow in that pool of people within the same thing. So, and
True.
the only thing to do was to get into the Big Fours because that was the only way I could see that how I could convince my family to send me out. So that was the second motivation. With these two motivation, I studied day and night very hard, and I finally landed up getting All India rank 11. And if you talk about CA final, that was just about keeping my mark. So if you have achieved something
Yeah.
in at this level, so you kind of compete with yourself. Yes, I have an All India rank in IPCC, and in CA final, I want to compete with myself. Yeah, this was my mark, and I want to achieve the same further also. So that was my motivation in getting a rank in CA final.
Okay. So basically, we planned the session to know more about the soft skills part in our course. So the first time when you went for the GDI interviews for the articleship, how was the experience there? Like that is something the students face GDO's interviews for the very first time, the whole CA
So
course.
I'll frankly tell you, my communication skills were not good initially when I was out of school. I had a problem interacting very fluently in English also, and I somehow managed to got get through the my articleship interview, and that also I'll tell frankly was totally on the basis of my rank because as soon as I got out of my interview room and my interview didn't go well, I know that as soon as I got out, the HR told me that don't apply anywhere else. It was for PwC. Don't apply
Yeah.
anywhere else because you are a rank holder. We prefer rank holders in our company, and that's why we are hiring you. So that was one stage. I cleared it. But then I faced a lot of issue when I gave my interviews after clearing CA. So if you are a CA aspirant and if you are aspiring for a rank, this is one thing that you need to know that if you get a rank for CA, then you are golden. You get to sit for the interviews of such companies the name of which people have not even like think of in their dreams. I have sat for the interviews of Marico, ITC, all the big FMCG companies, Aditya Birla, like 10 of them, and I got rejected from 10 of them because of my communication skills. I was a rank holder at 2 levels. I had articleship from Big Fours. I had a stellar CV. I worked across multiple clients in various industries, but I didn't prepare well for the interview. I didn't prepare well for the behavioral questions. I had a lot of knowledge, but I was not able to transfer it to the other person. I was not able to convince the other person, yes, if I will be hired in your organization, then I will be a good resource for you. So that was like a waking up moment for me. At that moment I decided that I have done very well with my CADs. I am done with these books have given me a lot and I respect that a lot, but I now need to know that how to just get out of my mind and how to communicate it to the other people. So at that time I decided from now on my journey would be to just make my communication stellar. So
Okay. So, Ruchi, what kind of advices you will give to the juniors who are currently pursuing their articleship or currently are applying for the CA final examination? What kind of things they should do from now onwards to be like to get an edge for the interviews and GD process post their finals?
So obviously, first of all, CA itself is not very easy. First of all, what you need to
Yeah.
think about is getting through those CA examinations first. And a key to do that, as I always tell my students, is to plan it very well. People think that we'll cover it in the end, but if you like sort it out from the starting only, you will keep your coaching schedule up properly. Then only towards the end you will be able to do it. It's not very scary. It's not something you should be afraid of, but it should be scheduled and properly strategized. My strategy was to complete my coachings 5 months before the actual examination, so that I get that time to study on my own. So that is the first thing you do. You make sure that you clear that exam. And second thing, in your articleship firm, make sure that you're communicating with people, make sure you're networking a lot, make sure you're working very hard, make sure you're learning about the concepts, and try to just interact with one or two people on the daily basis. Even if nothing is going on, just try to chit chat with them. Try to seek inspiration. Try to keep yourself very updated on LinkedIn. Try to seek idols, like who do you idolize, who do you want to be like with. And you are on a path of that because you have joined this channel. You are in fraternity. You are coming
Yeah.
to see what all people are there and what paths they are following. So this is also the first step, for which I really appreciate you people. So keep doing that and talk to people in the industry. People are very helpful out there. I did it a lot, many times. Whenever I got confused or whenever I wanted to seek any kind of advice, I just randomly see people's profile on LinkedIn. I'll message them. I'll tell them about my situation, what I am doing, and in what situation I need an advice from. So, and keep working on your communication skills. Like speak a lot. Even if when you're studying, like you're studying law or audit or something, if you have learned an answer, discuss it with your friend and speak it out. This way you'll learn it better, and this way you'll be also able to explain it better. If sometimes you'll sit in an interview, you can write it well, but unless you can speak it well, it is of no use. So learn both the things parallelly.
True, true. Okay. So, Ruchi, like you did your articleship from PwC. It's one of the big four. So, did you find like doing articleship from any big four really helps to develop that kind of personality or that kind of communication skills, which really helps at the end of the day?
It worked for me. Many people don't believe it because they think that in Big Fours you get to work into a one single department. But I
Yeah.
have worked in it, and I will surely recommend you that getting into Big Four makes a lot of difference. It made a lot of difference for me. Two, three things. What they do is that, first of all, people who are there are very professional and have excellent communication skills, because you are dealing with very high profile client, like the biggest client in the industry. And for that you need very good communication skills, very good clarity when you talk to them, and very good thought process that what do you want to convey. So if you are around that environment, then you have more chances to absorb that, and to learn something from it. Secondly, when you are making reports, they refine it for so many times. They teach this kind of they feed this kind of perfection into you. So if you will start with one version of report, I am sure you would also agree because you have worked
Yeah.
there. If you start one
Yeah.
version of the report, then you will just keep on working on it. You will make 10 to 20 versions. Even for a full stop or a comma, they'll just ask you to make changes again. So that is one thing which feed perfection in you, which in the long run I think helps. So I will surely agree with this, that being in the Big Four helps you develop a personality. It gives you a very good CV point, and it helps you in the long run.
So, like post qualification, what kind of problems did you face in those interviews of the big companies, and what kind of advice you would give to the current people who would be applying in those companies? What kind of preparation they should go for through, like reading newspaper
So
or
one thing that I don't think people who now can help a lot, but people who are in CPT level would be able to do. I didn't do a regular college, and it makes a
okay,
lot of difference if you're from or a regular college, or if you're not from a regular college. And if you have done a college from a very good place, then these skills are being taught you in that college. If you're in your communities, if you are in various types of clubs, and if you're leading, you're in the position of responsibilities, then you
yeah,
automatically learn some kind of skills. Second thing, specifically in these kind of interviews which I gave in many of the FMCG company, they focus a lot on case study debates. So whatever debates
yeah,
I gave, it was not based on your general topic. Like they gave a topic and tell the pros or cons on, and speak on for or against. That was not like that. That was they'll give us a proper case study like format, and they'll ask us to analyze the situation, and to make a decision out of it. So for that, if I think if I was guided enough in advance, and if I had some kind of this thing thing. Yeah, I was like very sure even before also that I am going to get a rank because my exams went very well. But after that, I was not very conscious, and I didn't contact anybody who had a rank in the past. But if I would have contacted somebody, if somebody would have guided me that this is how you can prepare, you can just pick out some of the case studies from internet, you can sit with your friends and discuss. That's the kind of preparation that you can do. That I think it should have helped a little. And then the journal thing, reading about the structure of the company. And since you get the result after 2.5 months of an examination, and you sometimes are not that quick with the concepts, you tend to forget a little things or two. So also revise them a little, revise your accounting concepts, your accounting standards, your costing concepts. You should be very thorough with them because they expect that you have just passed out, so you should know everything on your tips. So I didn't revise even anything out of it. So I didn't prepare well. It was all on me. I didn't prepare well. I was not aware enough. So if you think that you have scored very well, even if you're not that, even if you will sit for the campus interviews, you'll have to face the GDs. Even if you have just passed and you are in the campus, you'll have to face the GDs, and again you will need excellent communication skills, awareness about what is happening. So the second thing you can do is that after you are done with your exams, you can start reading a newspaper a lot. So when you will sit in the GDs of the other companies, which will give you the topic on the current awareness or affairs, then having a lot of knowledge about the current awareness will help you a lot, and also discussing it with friends along with it.
Okay, that's great. That's great, Ruchi. So then came the IOCL interview. So what different did you apply it in that interview that like you succeeded in that interview? How was the experience?
So it was IOCL interview was my campus interview, and it was a little smooth than the other ones because I don't know, like the competition was much higher than the interviews that I talked about earlier, because they used to just call the rank holders and many of them were from the Big Fours. In
And this
IOCL,
was a
I think
Mumbai campus or Delhi campus?
it was in Mumbai campus. I basically had my articleship from Delhi, but I chose Mumbai campus. Companies would be appearing in Mumbai campus but will not be coming to Delhi campus because of some research I did, but that didn't happen. I didn't get any shortlist from any finance companies, and much of the finance company do not even come to the CA campus. So I got the shortlist from IOCL, BPCL and companies like this. IOCL was the first interview. It was quite smooth for me, and one of the panelists was from the internal audit background, and my background was also internal audit. So we kind of vibed a little, and that's how I was able to sail through it.
And how was your experience at IOCL at 1.5 or 2 years journey?
IOCL experience was very different from the PwC experience. It was a little struggling for me initially because there was a huge cultural shift. Because in PwC, people were very open-minded, very ambitious, and at IOCL, people were very settled and had a very passive lifestyle. So
The PSU kind of lifestyle.
Yeah, the PSU kind of lifestyle, and even after 2 years I was not able to adjust to it. I had my own ways of dealing with things. I had my own way of bringing that change into the company. So if I'll also suggest the thing that if you are a very ambitious person, and if you don't want to go to a field in which you are doing an automatic thing from starting of the day to the end of the day, then I don't think it is the place for you. Otherwise, as a company, it was an amazing company. It is like the most employee friendly company. If you talk about any company in India, it has such kind of policies for employees. It has amazing leave policies. The pay was very good. The pay was very handsome if you compare to other companies which gave me an offer letter. And the other kinds of perks and perquisites you get, I bought an iPhone for more than 1 lakh. I bought a laptop and everything. Like, I had a very lavish lifestyle. But if you talk about the work perspective, the profile was not that good what I expected.
So then after IOCL, a decision to do an MBA, how it came through, like as being settled in.
I took this decision even when I gave those interviews, when I failed so many times. At that time, I got this thing that communication skills is one thing which will help you through your life. And I have not been to a college, and which is also when I see people who come from a college, they have a very different way of thinking for things and analyzing things and coming to a decision. And because we as CA students, we just know about our articleship friends. And
True.
sometimes we are sent to client location and we don't even get to meet them or and discuss something with them very regularly. And people who are at college, they are among their peer group and they discuss ideas among themselves. And in
Meet a
MBA,
lot of people. Yeah.
yeah, and in MBA,
Yeah.
it gets to a next level because people from several backgrounds are coming. People from technology backgrounds. In my college, I have got doctors, I have got lawyers. So if you will discuss any topic, you will get so many perspectives. You get so many perspectives. So I completed my CA early. I had time because even if I'll complete MBA, I'll be like 26, and I wanted to invest in my 20s. I wanted to invest in my education because job is one thing which we'll do even when you will get very old. So right now I want to invest in myself a lot. This is the concept I always believe in. So that's why I went for MBA.
Great, Ruchi. So, coming on the Toastmasters question, like, you are a VP of Toastmasters right now, if I'm
Yes.
not wrong.
Yes.
Okay. So, how you made this decision to join Toastmasters, and can you tell our audience what it is all about? What do you learn there, and whether CA students should join Toastmasters or not?
So Toastmaster is an international organization. It's a non-profit organization and it runs clubs throughout the world. It has clubs in many countries. So many clubs out there, and which works for the communication, improving the communication and leadership skills of their members. And I knew
Okay.
about Toastmasters even when I was in my articleship firm, but I knew that I wouldn't get time to join it then. So I decided that post qualification I'll join Toastmasters, and that's what I did. It's very easy to join Toastmasters. You can just go and see what is the club near you. You can go on their website and see what club is near you, and you can visit any club as guest. It's totally free for guests. They are very welcoming. If you go as a guest, there are no charges. So I explored a few clubs. Then I finally found one that I wanted to join, and I enrolled myself into it. And the journey in the Toastmasters has been fantastic. It is one thing which brings happiness to my life. It is one thing which brings satisfaction to me. If there is a tiring day and I'm like exhausted and I know that a Toastmaster meeting is lined up where I have my speech coming in, then this is one thing which rejuvenates me, which gives me that energy to go on further. I came to know that I can become a very good public speaker through Toastmasters. And even if you don't have any passion for public speaking, there are many other things that you learn through it. Communication skill is obviously one. You learn how to communicate. There are many people out there with whom you network. Again, there are people coming from several backgrounds. You come to know about different things, what people are doing, what things are there. Because if we will remain in our confinement zone, that yeah, we are CAs, we are just interacting with CAs, and there's no other world other than being a CA. So you won't come to know what all things are happening out there. And there are so many things happening out there. People are doing so much. I came to know about a CA who has his articleship from Big Four. He's a CA. Then he got into mass communications. He has opened his own startup and he goes to institutions and he gives us training. So I came to know about things this sort. So this is one platform which gave me a lot of confidence to speak, and then again, Toastmasters is also about leadership. So in every club you have executive committee. So obviously in college, I didn't go to college, I didn't go to attend any club. So I had this thing in my mind that I want to join an executive committee of any club. So that's why they have a proper procedure. They have their elections. I stood up in elections. I gave my election speech, which I very much wanted to give. And then I got selected for the vice president public relations of the club, in which I take care of the social networking platforms of the club. I interact with people in journal. I make creatives for the club. I was never a very creative person, but then this responsibility was given to me, and then I found out that yes, I can also make posters, beautiful posters, creative posters. So you get to know about different sides of you if you like pick up different things. You don't know until you don't explore, you don't know what things you are good at and what things you are not good at.
So, what's the daily routine at Toastmasters? Like, how they make you learn those things?
So their typical meeting structure is like they have a theme for the meeting, for which
Yeah.
a host of the meeting would come and introduce the theme, and they have a number of auxiliary role players who would come, like the timer of the day, who would know the timings, the grammarian of the day, who would know the grammar of the people, that how people are speaking, and the main part of it is the speeches that you give. So there are three prepared speeches in every meeting, where people come with prepared speeches and they stand on the stage and they give their speech. And the most important part is that for every speech, for every role that you play, you have an evaluation. Evaluation is a very important thing that we believe in, because until unless you will have feedbacks that what you did right and what you did wrong, you won't be able to improve. So then after the speeches are done, then we move to the evaluations, where the evaluators come and they evaluate that how did the speaker spoke and what all things you can improve on. And anybody who's interested can always DM me, and or can always go to Capital City Toastmasters page and can always come to the meeting. It's on Zoom also, so it's very easy for you to join now. So you can come to know better about what the structure is like and what the Toastmasters are like.
Okay. So, Ruchi, my next question would be like, anybody who would go through your Insta account would know that how you balance your social life and professional life so well. So, what's the secret behind it?
So it was a trick to just confuse my competitors. They used to think that I don't study, but I used to study. So it was just being in the moment, that if you are with your friends, just be with your friends. But if you are in the class, just then be in your class. I used to attend the classes with my friends, but in the class, I used to just listen to the teacher. I didn't used to talk to my friends. I was not the backbencher kind of person who will sit at the last bench of the class and just bicker around. I was a very serious student. When I was the class, I would just sit on the first bench, and I was really, people used to say that this is the girl who sits on the first bench and who constantly makes note of whatever teacher is speaking. No matter what the teacher is speaking, she's constantly making notes. Then right when we get free from the class, we'll just go to our home, we'll change, and then we'll go to a party, and then we'll come back home and get up early in the morning tomorrow. So it's just like being in the moment. Whatever you are doing, do it very, very well.
So, formula was study hard and party harder.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So, that's all from my side. Now we can start taking up the questions.
Sure.
Okay. Guys, so I request you to start putting up your questions and we will now take up the questions live. Okay. So I already have some questions in the question tab. Let me take up. Yeah. This is a question from someone. Negative situation में भी उन्होंने अपना confidence कैसे maintain किया? So this must be from any CA student.
So obviously, when you are a CA student, there are many lows in life. Many a times you would feel that you are not good enough. People around you. I faced that particularly when I missed my classes due to my client. I used to, there was a client place which was outstation, due to which I used to miss my classes. And I felt very low in that point of time. And I turned back to my friends who were very good and who helped me a lot to complete those classes. And the key to everything is that just don't try, then just don't get fixated with the problems. Situations which are not in your control would be there, be it if you're missing your classes, be it if you're not able to learn law or audit properly. Try to run for the solutions rather than fix. Students come to me and they again and again say that I'm not able to do it, I'm not able to do it, I'm not able to do it. And even when I give them solution, they don't really go and execute it. I go and tell them that try to write answers for theory subjects. That's how you'll be able to do it. But they are just too much fixated on the problem. Yes, this is the problem I have. So the key to is that don't get too obsessed with what the problem is. Try to just, if somebody is giving you a solution, then actually be honest with yourself and ask yourself, have you tried applying that solution? And if yes, and if that is not working, then we'll see for the next step. But just be honest with yourself and just try to find for a solution, and then only you'll be able to lift yourself up. What was my schedule during my first year of articleship? So during my first year of articleship, it was easy because I didn't have my classes until at the end of it. But during the second and the third year, it was very hectic. I used to get up at 5:30 in the morning. I used to reach at the classes 6:30. Then I used to get free at 9:30 or 9:45. Then I used to run to the client's place. Then the whole day, the office things are going on. And then I come back at home at 9 or 10. and I didn't used to study. If you would want to ask that if I studied after classes, then I didn't used to study because I was totally exhausted, and I would just sit with my roommate who was like a sister to me, and I would discuss my entire day with her. But I was a very serious in class, and most of the people are not able to do that because they don't have that concentration span, and everybody does not have this. So try to know what your strengths and weaknesses are. If you know that your concentration span is not that much in the actual class and you need to revise this, then you have that need to, when you come back at home and 10, you need to revise the class also. So then your schedule will become more hectic.
This is another question. How difficult was it to crack CAT or ZAT for you after clearing CA?
So the main problem was that I left studies for a very good 1 year period, and I started. I passed in May 2018. I started my studies for CAT in 2019. So there was a very good gap of 1 year, and to again sit with those books. And the next thing was I was earning a very good amount of money. I had a very lavish lifestyle, so I was in that comfort zone. Nothing was there to push me out of it. Nothing was there to like throw me out of that limit that yes, you want to do it. So many of times I faced that issue that I didn't have enough motivation to do it. But then I tried to think, this is not what I want to do. I want to enter into an MBA college, and I remember that I after a point of time when I got that motivation to me, I used to sit in my office and used to give mocks. Like my office used to get over at 5:30, but I would sit there for another 3 hours, 4 hours, and I was the last person to leave the office. The guard would just come and ask me again and again that when can I close the light. But I was sitting there, and I used to leave at 9 or 9:30 after giving my mock test. I got my schedule prepared that one day I'll give my mock and the next day I'll analyze it. Surely it was very difficult because of these two things, but I tried to overcome these and I tried to score well. Plus I didn't score that well, but because I was a CA, that helped me get a lot many shortlisting which I otherwise wouldn't have got. So I got like 96.3% in CAT, but I got a shortlist from IIM Ahmedabad as well, which even if you're from an engineering background, you will get it in 99.999 percentile.
Yeah.
But being a CA would give you an edge if you want to go for it afterwards.
True. So the next question is this one from Goldie Whites. How did you start initially for working on communication skills on daily basis? What were the challenges? So basically, she wants to know the initial journey when you started.
It's a very long journey. It's because I have improved like multifold number of times. There are many people who at school level also start speaking very good because the main thing is that their family background is such they're speaking continuous English at home also. So they have their practice. But I didn't have that background. So in 11th class, I had to join a language enhancement class to improve my English, and doing that for 2 years, that didn't work very well. Then at PwC, I tried to interact with people in English. I tried to keep my maximum conversation in English to keep my language fluent. I would even after work, I would just find a friend. I would just sit with him. I would ask him, no matter how many times he'll say कि क्या तेरे को हिंदी बोलना नहीं आता है, क्या तू मैम बन रही है क्या, but I would do it for myself because I don't want to, I'm not showing it off to anybody, and I didn't have the kind of English that I'll show off at that point of time. I knew that I'm doing it for myself. So do it for yourself. Your friends will come and say that क्या है हिंदी में क्यों नहीं बात कर रहे हैं, but do it for yourself. Do speak in English, and once you bring that culture in your group, people will also start speaking in English. My friends also started speaking in English with me, and that helped. Start doing it with your friends. Then after that, Toastmaster brought a next level change for me.
So there's the next question, which is from Prerna Sai. In pandemic, flow of studies is really lacking, be it morning or evening. No time is working. Please help. So basically, you can give advice to all the students who are even preparing for this November CA final examination.
So I have few friends also who are stuck and who face this problem. The key to do it is to have a schedule, because previously when you were going out, you had a schedule. You knew that you have to attend this class at a particular point of time. So there is no external forces to keep you that schedule now. So please bring write up a schedule for yourself and collaborate with your friends, and so that you can have a common schedule and you can motivate each other. You try to wake up early in the morning and study. And the second thing that you do is that do make sure that you are doing some kind of workout or physical activity, because if you'll sit whole day on your bed or on your chair, then that motivation will not come. You will feel very lethargic. You will feel like sleeping in every half an hour and 1 hour. that used to happen with me when I was doing my office work during lockdown. But this is the thing which I also learned in lockdown only. I started doing workout. I was a very lazy person, but I started doing workout, and I made sure this to make a habit. It will take like half an hour of the day, but if you start doing it even within 1 or 2 weeks, you'll feel very motivated, and you will feel that energy within you to do the tasks and schedule them properly. Bring that in internal discipline within yourself, that if this is the time I want to do this, I want to do this. So these are the two things.
That's great advice. So the another question is from Vaidehi Rathi. She is asking, how has Toastmasters helped you in prep of CAT or ZAT? Basically, it might help you in the interviews of these
Yes.
top colleges.
So it has helped me tremendously. Again, when I tell you, you might have a lot of calls from the colleges, but they are useless unless you convert them. And when you sit for the interview, again, this thing comes that you might have a lot of knowledge. You might have worked on a lot of things in your past work experiences. You might have a lot of knowledge from your CA background, but you again need to communicate it to the interviewer that yes, you know things, and you need to convince him, yes, you are a very good candidate for their college, and you'll surely do wonders. So then again, Toastmasters was one thing which gave me this confidence. Is also another thing that you need to showcase. So these are the two things which Toastmaster helped me into. So when you like go on that stage and you will deliver that speech, you will see a change in yourself before and after. It changes you a lot. Speaking in front of a crowd of 30 or 40 people, initially you will shake, your body will shake, your hands will shake, but once you are through with it 3 or 4 times, you'll feel that confidence within yourself, that if I can speak in front of these 30 and 40 people, I can easily talk in front of the panel of 2-3 people who are there in the interview. So it helped me a lot in the interview process, basically.
Yeah. This is also a question related to MBA only. What is the differentiating factor which helped you to get an admit into the B school over the? So whether it was a chartered accountancy course, being a CA, or
there
something
were a
else.
there were a lot of them, but I would tell you the two or three of them. The first one, obviously, I got the shortlist because I had a very good profile. I was a chartered accountant. I had a rank, and I did my articleship from PwC, so I had a very good profile. So even after having very low percentiles, I got many good calls. So first one was that, and in the interview, my communication skills, my ability to express myself very clearly. I was not very good at interviews, which I told you in the CA final terms also. So I practiced a lot. I remember 1 month in which I'll just call my friends from past and I'll just pester them to take my mock interview, take my mock interview. So many of my friends have taken my mock interviews, and we just speak for 1 hour continuously straight about myself, about my achievements. So again and again, repeating that in front of people gave me that confidence, gave me that edge to clear the interviews as well.
Okay, great. This is another question from Mahesh. If I'm not doing an articleship, then what should I do after clear my exam, and what you suggest for job and skill development?
Not doing your articleship, like a dummy articleship, for that I won't suggest ever. Please
Maybe
keep it. I am
maybe
not clear
he's
with you.
talking about dropping CA, something like that.
Clear my exam and
So,
what? No, he's not talking about dropping his exams, because he
okay.
wrote, what should I do after clear my exam? So first thing is that please do your articleship form to start with. And what can you do? I can tell you the other options that you can do other than CA. That if you think that CA is not the right fit for you, then you need to first sit down, take a pause, and see what field is for you. Don't just run after options. I've seen people who are not good at CA. They join CS, then after a few years they realize that CS is not for them. Then they join CFA, then they realize CFA is not for them. They ultimately go to B school and do MBA, then get a job. So even if that B school might not be for you, so sit and think what is for you. There are many unconventional things also which you might be good at, but you don't realize it. So sit and think that what is good for you and what are the ways to achieve it. You think about any course, there are top schools and top schools in India and worldwide which will help you achieve it. I'll give you an example. There was a friend of mine in school. She took maths and science in 12th class, and she was also going to these classes for JEE. She was Bansal classes and whatever classes you have for JEE coachings. But towards the end, she realized that it was not for her. Cracking JEE was not her dream. And be it anything in that stream, maths and science, it's not her thing. Her thing was fine arts. She chose a college in US of fine arts. She went there, she studied there, and she's like now among the top performers of our school. So find out what is good for you, and even if it's non-conventional, then just be best at whatever you do. So even if it is not conventional, you'll have to work very hard towards it, but first you need to find out what you need to do.
And this is something, Ruchi, which is very important for all the CA students. They are like very much into studies. They forget about following their passion or something which they really love.
Yes. They just come into the course, then after a few years they are like in that circle that they don't want to come out. But if you are like almost at the completion stage, then try to bring that energy and complete it. And if you are in the entering stage and you have the chance to exit it at the right point of time, then do it. Many of my friends did it and they are doing well in life. And if you're towards the end, if you're invested too many years, then try to bring that motivation and clear that final lap also, because having a CA degree in your profile, it speaks a lot about you and it will justify the years that you have invested in it.
So this another question is from Vedant Patra. How you manage your studies with entertainment, most important, social media?
So when I was in my articleship, I did social media. I follow social media. I posted and everything. But when I was on my self-study break, I will tell you very honestly, those 5 months, I didn't touch my Insta. I didn't touch my FB. I had my birthday a day before my SFM paper. I celebrated my birthday all by my own with my books. And I was very happy with the entire process because I had that kind of fun before. And I had this mind makeup previously also that when I'll go for my self-study 5 months duration, I will not touch any kind of social networking sites. So you need to know, you need to have that kind of line of demarcation, and you need to have that kind of self-control that when you are studying, you need to keep your phone totally away from yourself. Take that break of 5 or 10 minutes if you want to use it in that, and make sure that 5 and 10 minutes is 5 and 10 minutes. Don't start watching a TV series or something. TV series is something that I never watched in my entire life because I personally feel it's very unproductive, and I am a bad binge watcher. If I start something, I complete the series in like 4 or 5 days. So don't go. You should know what are the things in which you don't have the self-control, and if you think you don't have the self-control in social networking site, then don't do them.
True. This another question is from Vedant again. I heard that IOCL offers lucrative pay. Then is it a risky decision to go for another degree for job?
So I pretty much spent my 1 month talking to people in my company, talking to people through LinkedIn in the entire industry. I talked to more than 30 people to discuss this, that can I leave IOCL job, which I'm earning so well for this college. And the last answer which I got was yes, because it was based on my aspirations and what I want to do in the longer life. So the answer will depend but at what you want to do. It's not something which anybody didn't tell me that what I need to do. They just told me that what their story was, what their motivation was for doing it. So it will depend on you. You can just listen from people that what their stories was, what their motivations was, and where they are now, and do you want it? Do you want to like work tirelessly during your complete week and not give a lot of time to your family members, or do you want to have a very balanced life, chill life, even when you're not work wise you're not doing something innovative, or you are doing the same kind of work? You need to see what balance works for you. So it's not an answer which I can give you. This is an answer which you will have to find yourself.
Yeah. So this is another question from Shreya. Were you involved in any of the extracurricular activities other than Toastmaster? So did you did any other things which really helped you to secure a like to go into Israel?
I recently took up content writing for an NGO named Stridhan. It's an NGO which works towards social advocacy and gender inclusion. I always liked writing, but I was never able to pursue it properly because even if there is a one hobby and if you're not spending dedicated time to it, you kind of lose the touch. So that was one thing. And secondly, I wanted to give back to the society. So when you become a professional, we make sure of this thing that you are giving back to the society in one way or the another. It helps you practice gratitude, and it helps you to know what kind of things are going on in your society. So I joined a Sridhar named NGO and I write blogs for them.
Okay, great. So did that help you in the MBA interviews?
I did it after my interviews, but now it has helped me to build my CV a lot. When you go for an MBA program, volunteership is one thing which they look for. Like it looks good on your CV, and you're able to tell people that you have a very diverse kind of personality, and you're able to tell a lot of things about yourself. Also, you get to know a lot of things about yourself. So yes, it helps in the MBA also.
Okay. It's another question. Mahima is asking, what's your confidence secret?
The biggest one is Toastmasters. I'll tell you. If you would have had a conversation with me a year before, I was not reflecting this kind of confidence. A majority of is Toastmasters.
Mahisha again posted a question. As my previous question, I want to ask about how will I get job if I'm not doing articleship, and what should I do after clearing my exams? Again, didn't get it.
So you need to
He must be asking about dropping CA, which we have already answered.
Yeah, I think we can move to the next query. Or you can contact me personally in my Instagram or my personal contact number. You can take from the one.
Another question. Okay. How did you manage to keep your sanity in studies while enjoying your life as well?
So I had a very nice group of friends. So my friends were not like that. We just want to party and party and party. I also wanted to pass their examinations with good marks. So we planned it very well that we want to attend all the classes. Even if we are coming back to a party at 12 or 1, we will make sure that we wake up each other at 5:30 in the morning. We didn't miss any classes. And the second thing was that when I came for the for my self-study phase, I left everything behind. I left that party animal mode behind, and I became a very serious towards studies person. So these are the two things.
There's another question from Tushar. What are your long-term aspirations?
Just
What you really want to do? Yeah, sure.
Just a second, my phone battery is dying up. Well, quickly.
Sure.
Okay. What are your long-term aspirations? What you really want to do in life? What are my long-term aspirations? So my long-term aspirations are that I first want to develop my personality very well. When I was in school, I used to see the director of my school. She had excellent communication skills, excellent public speaking skills. She is a very professional person. That's where I got the inspiration from. I have a long way to go. Today I see that I have good communication skills, so that is one thing I want to make sure that after 5 years, 10 years, when anybody would look at me, I want to have an amazing personality that if I meet a person in the first time, that person would feel, wow, what kind of person she is. Secondly, I am a very family oriented person. I want to also have a balanced family life. And third, I want to travel and explore a lot. So these are the three things I look forward to.
Cool. Which there's a lot of question about articleship and scrutiny and all. Yeah, this can be a very important question. Is Big Four mandatory for good companies?
Big Four is not mandatory. So even if you are doing it from a mid-sized firm or a small firm, but you know that what you are doing, it helps you in getting that short list. But after that, only your work speaks for you. So even if you are from short-term or mid-sized firm and you have done a lot of good stuff and you are able to present it very well in your CV, and if you get a good you get a good shortlist, and there you perform well, then obviously you will get the job right straight away. So I know this friend of mine. She and I sat for the ITC interview. She was from a firm in Kalani, which I left to go to Big Four, and I was from Big Fours. I didn't get into ITC. Now she's into ITC. So it doesn't matter if you are from Big Fours. If you have very clear thoughts, you're able to communicate them well. You have done a great amount of work. You were very honest during your ITC period, and you are able to reflect that in your interview. Then you will be able to do it.
Okay, great. So do you want to take up questions from the study phase, articleship and all? Let me take one or two questions.
Anything that you want.
This is about communication skills again. How to improve communication from basics, viewing the current scenario in home.
So I again tell you that the Toastmasters things I have been telling you, we are doing it online only. I joined in January, and the pandemic came in February and March. Thereafter, in the last 6-7 months I'm doing it from home only, and that's where I have grown the most, because sometimes you don't feel very comfortable in physically going in the front of people, and that's why the online thing will help you. Many people are now joining the club more because they don't have this thing of traveling to the Toastmaster place. They have this leverage to sit at home and do the speak online. So this thing I've done. Secondly, I made sure that I'm interacting with my friends. I make a calendar that on every Saturday I have a Zoom call with my friends and we are interacting very well. So keep that interaction alive. Don't just be within you. If you are not obviously studying in those last 5 months where you want to just study, if you are still in your articleship phase, then do make sure to have the contact with the outside world also, and do interact with the people who inspire you. And coming to this, obviously seminar is also one of the things that you took to improve yourself. So if I in my phase would have taken seminars like this, I would have been a much more aware person. I would have known about a lot of things. So that is also one thing that you are already doing.
There's another important question. Let me take this. How should we as CA aspirants hold PORs and build a good CV if we don't have a regular college? So basically, she's asking about a CV.
That again was a very big issue for me, because when you go to an MBA college, POR is one thing you should mandatorily fill. POR is one thing that you should mandatorily have. So what do I have in my PORs? I have my vice president role of my Capital C Toastmasters. I have a few initiatives that I took for the CA final students. I started a few YouTube channels. I started a few channels on other social networking platforms, and I have a very good amount of views that I can write on my CV that would look good. So these are the kind of PORs I have. And as I told you, in my NGO also I have been the team leader a few number of times. So that also I can mention. So there are many other things that you will, if you will go out, you will see what people are doing. You will come to know that you can also get your PORs from these other things also, even if you are not from a college.
Okay, great. I think we have already taken almost all the questions. Okay. So, Ruchi, can you brief once about your CA final preparation? Like, how did you strategize all the coachings and all the syllabus?
So it was a strategy
Very crisp.
which I did very beforehand. I was not very much confused in the end that my subjects are left and what do I do. I very much planned that if I want to complete my coachings 5 months before the examination, then when should I start it and which coachings should I keep where. Even if I'll have my outstation audit, I won't leave the entire classes. The classes would go for 3 months, and even if I'll go for 1 month, I would prefer missing the class of that 1 month rather than like delaying my batch for 2-3 months, because you will have this psychological satisfaction that you have completed the class, and you'll have this push from outside that you'll have to complete the notes because you have enrolled the class. So make sure that you enroll to the class and you start enrolling for the class right at the end of the first year of your articleship, and you'll have a good amount of 2 years to complete those 7 to 8 subjects which you will be able to do, and keep 4 or 5 months of the end free for your self studies. And if you are panicking towards the end that you have completed just 3 class and 4 class, so go as per your capabilities. That in the past, if you have performed very well even in the short duration of time, then go for both the groups. But if you think that it's too much pressure, then don't kill yourself. Just go for one group, do it properly and clear it. Just don't go for a lot of many things and don't end up achieving anything. It's good to go for one group. So know yourself well, what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and that will help you.
I think we have already taken a lot of questions, and I'm not finding any relevant questions now.
And if anything is there, you can always reach out to me through Instagram, or you can ask Duman. He will give you a personal number. I'm always welcome to guide students and track with them.
Okay, so Ruchi, coming on the last part of our session, any final advice to all the CA aspirants for the soft skills part, or communication part, or studies for preparing the examination?
The only thing that I want to tell is that CA is something which takes a lot of dedication. So be very sincere towards the entire process. Give yourself 100%. And I'm telling you that if you'll give your 100% to this thing, this will come back to you. And when you become a CA, you'll feel so proud that this thing will give you more than 1000% to you. And also to keep up with the crowd that is out there that is doing the other things. Improve your communication skills that you can easily do at your articleship firm. Those are just being in the college. You are going to the client place. You're interacting with so many people, CEO, CFOs of the company. Leverage that opportunity. You have all the opportunities right in front of you. Just go and grab them, and you will do good.
Okay. Okay. So Ruchi, thank you so much for joining this live session. I'm again very much thankful for to give this precious time of yours. One final advice to younger 16 or 17 years old Ruchi. Any one mistake you want to discuss here on this live session? And that was one mistake which I would have corrected. The whole journey would have been something different.
If I would have take guidance from more people, then I think my journey would have been better. But I think you guys are already doing it. Just make sure that you are in touch with channels like Fraternity, and you're in touch with people who are way ahead in the career of you, because so that you can have this picture that where do you see yourself and do you want to do that 4 years, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. So do be in touch with the people who are way ahead in the career from you. That will help you. And I wish all the best to all of you. Have a great journey ahead. Whatever you do, be best in it. And you can always contact me on any platform that you want. And I want to thank Fraternity for inviting me to such an amazing session and giving me a chance to interact with such amazing people.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ruchi, and thank you so much, people, for joining this live session. Okay, guys. Bye.
Bye bye.